Hey, this is Luke. I just wanted to go over the Boss Katana unmute mod for the record out or the line out on the back. I wanted to go over a bunch of comments that I've gotten on the video and just address a bunch of questions that people have had. So, number one, does USB not work? I've gotten a comment saying that the USB didn't work after installing the switch. By the way, for my previous video, I've replaced that switch with a rocker style one because that's much more low profile, and then when I'm loading it in the car, it doesn't stick out. So just pro tip, I would definitely install one like that. You have to drill a bigger hole, but it's totally worth it. Anyway, does USB work? Yes, USB works. You can see I'm in Tone Studio here, and if I adjust like maybe the middle knob, okay, you can see it's moving. I had no issue with USB after doing the mod. That's all fine. Now, the other comment I've gotten is, could you go out of the phone's record out and go back into the aux? And I had this idea. I was like, what if that was like a effects loop and it would come back into the amp? So we're going to try that now. I've got just a delay pedal right here, and we're going to go from the record out. So we're going to have the switch off. So just normal Katana mode. That's going to come into here. And then you have to use a special cable, obviously, if you're going to go back into the aux in. So I've got a mono to auxiliary stereo. And we're going to try this. I have no idea what's going to happen. Okay. So we're in. Do we hear anything? No, because this is off, right? As soon as we plug anything into the Katana without this mod, it's going to mute the speaker. There we go. Now we've got something. Let's turn that down. What happened? Ooh, okay. So no, this doesn't really work. Let's unplug USB and see what happens. We're getting a lot of feedback. This might have damaged something. Oh, wait, I have to... Oh, there we go. All right, so very buggy. I would not do that. I would not do what I've just done there. Not recommended. As you can see, it's a little weird. So this is no replacement for an effects loop. If you need the effects loop, you need to get the bigger Katana. That's not going to work really for you. Cool. Another question I've gotten is, does standby mute it? Let's find out. So playing. It will mute the Katana, but it will not mute the out. So you could 100% use that as a mute switch. I know people talked about it, was like, oh, if you do it permanently, how can you mute it? That would be how. But again, I don't recommend doing it permanently. I recommend putting in that switch. Watch my other video on how to install that. But yes, the standby will mute the Katana, but not the record out. And it appears, though, the speaker simulation, that does not fix it. So you can hear there, as I toggle the switch on and off, even though the Katana is muted, speaker simulation off, simulation on, off, on. So one more reason to have a little speaker sim pedal if that bothers you. Or, you would go out to maybe like a powered cab with guitar speakers, and then it wouldn't matter. But because this is a PA speaker, that's why it would sound so bad. All right, last little test we're going to try here. We're going to go from the phones out, from the Katana into another one, into the power amp in. And this will let you have two speakers. Now remember, the speaker simulation will not work, but it doesn't matter because they're both guitar speakers. So it should sound normal. So let's try that. We'll go on, and then I'm just going to set the master volume to about the same. Let's try this. Okay, so I'm going to actually bring them both in here. I'm going to hold an A, bring that one on. Now remember, this one's going to feed into this. So as this volume goes up, it will change both of them. That's kind of like your master, and then this is kind of your balance. So I can hear it more from that one right now. So I'd bring that one up, and then they're both kind of in conjunction together. And yeah, that would let you have two amps if you just needed more volume. You couldn't do this unless you did you know, you had a splitter and you just ran from your pedal board or from your guitar into both inputs, which, you know, maybe you've got that. This is kind of a goofy thing, but this just unlocks some extra possibilities. And again, with the switch, which I highly recommend because as we know that it disables the cab simulation on the device. So if you're ever trying to record or go into something and you want the cab simulation, you need the switch to be able to turn that off. So that just unlocks more options for you on your Katana. It's a very minimal mod. Obviously, I've installed a slightly bigger switch, but it's very low profile. So it sits down there nice, and you can lay the Katana flat, and it doesn't interfere with that. It won't hurt that or damage that. So I think it's a very, very versatile mod. And if you don't use it, you know, you just keep it off and whatever. It does nothing on or off if nothing's plugged in, so it doesn't matter where you leave it. But it's definitely worthwhile. So I'll be doing another install video on this amp, and check that out. Thanks for watching.